more than 20 civilizations in all regions of the world have failed because of agriculture damaging the environment. Globally, that's what we're doing today.
We have lost 1/3 of the Earth's topsoil.
The most massive tsunami, perfect storm is bearing down upon us.
According to the United Nations, the world's remaining topsoil will be gone within 60 years. In other words, unless we find a way to save our soils, we have 60 harvests left.
Desertification is a fancy word for land that is turning to desert. And this happens only when we create too much bare ground.
If you don't have a living plant, you're going to have more evaporation. What we want is transpiration. When the moisture leaves through the plant, when it does that, it increases humidity, and when it increases the humidity, we have more rain. 60% of our rainfall comes from the ocean. But a lot of people don't realize 40% comes from small water cycles where our rain comes from inland. What's going on is we disrupted the small water cycles. That's when you have too much sensible heat coming off bare soil. You're having these huge vortexes of hot air going out. Instead of attracting the rain, it's pushing the rain clouds away.
But I have for you a very simple message. About 2/3 of the world is desertifying.
That's why some people are racing to save our soil, in hopes our soil just might save us.
My job is to drop a seed. And the more you farm like nature, the more we can reduce your inputs and the more money you can make. Erosion is when soil becomes dirt.
Rapid erosion began long ago when humans developed the plow. Its purpose was to break the soil in order to sow seeds. But as their soils eroded, those once great empires vanished into dust.
Tillage is one of the most intrusive things we do in modern agriculture. It is not our friend.
In every handful of healthy soil, there are more organisms than the number of people who've ever lived on planet Earth.
The key to health is eating dirt. And what I mean by that is we need to eat what's in the dirt that's transferred to the plants that then we eat and create health.
The more tilling that's done, the weaker the soil gets, and the more farmers feel compelled to use chemical sprays. Every year, for every American alive, 3 pounds of toxic chemicals are sprayed onto the food grown on our farms.
That goes into the soil, it goes into the water, it goes into our bodies. It's not just on the food you eat, it's everywhere.
Most of the agricultural industry's pesticides and herbicides transfer directly through breast milk. There are over 200 peer-reviewed studies that correlate the spraying of these toxic chemicals to effects like ADD in children, pediatric cancers, and birth defects.
So we are sitting in a food forest. This is agroforestry. It's agriculture through trees, tree diversification. I've got an avocado tree, banana tree, fig tree, coffee trees. We went from a monocrop of single Hass avocado to now having about 40 different fruit varieties on site. By diversifying, we can now have harvests every month. If you're looking to do something that would greatly impact Mother Earth, plant a tree. You don't need acres and acres and acres to build a food forest. You really just need a few hundred square feet. You're gonna look outside one day and go, what is something we buy every day at the grocery store that instead of waiting for it to be shipped around the world to me, what can I put in my own backyard that I can do myself?
We have to get a living root all the time. We can't have these bare periods with nothing growing on them. We've got to start using these principles to restore the water cycle. Think of it this way. If I'd grow a monoculture on this field, would only be feeding the soil biology one type of root exudate. I'm growing 19 species here. We're accelerating biological time. We're feeding the soil biology what it would take a conventional farmer 19 years to do. I'm doing it in 1 year.
A lot of people don't understand that this helps climate change.
The grass is essentially what has to stabilize that soil.
The form of agriculture that we use creates billions of lives. All of that wildlife is flourishing under an agriculture system versus a tilled crop field, which is denuded of life.
I've personally been vegan for 20 years. I'm just kind of prove in my own role, like, hey, you can rock life in a very healthy, strong, powerful fashion on a plant-based diet. This is the most crucial choice all of us can make for the future of the planet. What are we eating? What kind of farming systems are we supporting? Are we regenerating the earth or are we degenerating?
Regeneration, which simply means to repair the damage we've done and make things better.